heart disease, diabetes, asthma, arthritis, and intestinal dysfunction, most of the chronic diseases of the Western world can actually be linked to grains as a potential contributor. So today, let's focus on the 5 worst grains to avoid. And please support my channel by hitting the subscribe button to stay up to date with my latest videos. Like seriously guys, all you have to do is just click the subscribe button, hit the like, and that's how you can actually continue supporting me. It's not that hard. First up, pasta is one of the most dominant and damaging foods today. Pasta is made from heavily refined carbohydrate, primarily wheat, which has several adverse effects. And during processing, wheat is stripped of its fiber, which itself isn't so good with grains. And this lack of fiber means that pasta is digested and absorbed extremely fast, leading to rapid increase in the blood sugar levels. And these spikes in the blood sugar, or let's say glucose, are concerning for several reasons. See, when blood sugar levels rise so quickly, the body responds by releasing insulin, a hormone produced by the pancreas. And insulin's job is to help glucose enter the body's cells where it's actually used for energy. However, when you frequently consume foods that spike blood sugar like pasta, it can lead to a condition called insulin resistance, where cells don't respond effectively to insulin and glucose remains in the bloodstream. And this is a significant root cause of type 2 diabetes and heart disease. See, my main problem is glycation. See, glycation occurs when excess glucose in the blood binds to proteins and fats, forming harmful molecules known as advanced glycation end products, or AGEs. And AGEs cause, let's say, inflammation and oxidative stress, damaging blood vessels, and of course, causing a plaque buildup in the arteries, a condition medically known as atherosclerosis, and this is the most common cause of heart attack and stroke. Now, apart from the pasta itself, the sources used with pasta can also contribute to heart health risk. Many commercial pasta sources contain vegetable oils like freaking corn, soybeans, and canola oils, and these oils are high in polyunsaturated fats, which are unstable and of course can easily oxidize, and this oxidization causes further inflammation and cell damage, and is one reason why paying close attention to vegetable oil is incredibly freaking important. Now next we have rice, another staple which can have devastating healthy impacts. See, firstly, rice, particularly white rice, has a high glycemic index. So just like your pasta is going to cause a rapid blood sugar spike, and this leads to glycation and of course cell damage. But a more serious consideration is that rice is one of the most heavily sprayed crops, so with chemicals linked to cardiovascular disease, kidney disease, and neurological damage. And rice is particularly good at absorbing inorganic arsenic from the environment. See, this arsenic found in pesticides, fertilizers, and industrial waste can actually contaminate rice fields, contributing to elevated blood pressure, artery damage, kidney disease, various cancers, and even brain damage. And even thought that brown rice, often touted as a healthier alternative, has been shown to actually contain much higher levels of arsenic. So while washing rice can actually reduce some of this arsenic, it doesn't eliminate the risk entirely. So for a healthier rice alternative, try cauliflower rice. But if you must carb load with white rice, if you are a bodybuilder or trying to add more muscle mass, please consider organic white rice. Now, back to cauliflower being a similar texture, but without the blood sugar spike and toxic chemicals, it makes a perfect side dish to soak up the sources in your favorite stew. Number 3 is a breakfast favorite for many. But first, please watch the full video to support my channel and attract more viewers, and don't forget to comment below. Okay, let's get back to the video. Now, while we've already touched on how wheat affects blood sugar and of course leads to glycation, it's crucial to understand the broader implications of consuming our third worst food, which is bread. Firstly, bread is full of amylopectin A, a type of carbohydrate that quickly converts to glucose. And this process begins the moment the bread interacts with your saliva. And this rapid digestion of amylopectin A in bread causes a significant spike in blood sugar levels. So to put it in perspective, consuming just 2 slices of bread can elevate your blood sugar more than ingesting 6 tablespoons of freaking table sugar. And this spike not only affects your blood sugar, but also plays a role in the formation of small LDL particles. While LDL cholesterol is often condemned as bad, it's a small and dense LDL particle that we actually need to be aware of. See, unlike their large counterparts, small LDL particles are more prone to oxidation, triggering inflammation within the arterial walls, and bread is one of the most common culprits. And that's why you see more of the Middle Eastern countries, they actually have such a high risk of heart attacks and strokes. Moreover, the gluten in bread is associated with the development of leaky gut syndrome. And in a healthy gut, see, the intestinal lining acts as a freaking barrier, controlling what enters the bloodstream. And leaky gut syndrome occurs when this lining becomes permeable, allowing toxins, undigested food and particles, and bacteria to seep into the freaking bloodstream. And this condition can actually trigger systemic inflammation, increasing your risk of various health issues, including heart disease. So furthermore, the addictive nature of gliadin, a component of gluten, often leads people to consume more and more bread. That's why people feel hungry again soon after eating freaking bread. Essentially, it's addictive, and people get stuck in a cycle of inflammation and subtle addiction to bread without even realizing it. Next, we have a breakfast that many people think are good for them, oats. And oats are commonly praised for being gluten-free. They're considered heart friendly. However, the reality isn't so freaking straightforward. While it's true that oats don't contain gluten, they have a protein called avenin, which essentially mimics gluten in the body. And avenin can actually cause inflammation, particularly in the intestines, and damage arteries. And this damage can actually lead to the buildup of fatty plaque, significantly increasing the risk of heart attacks and strokes. And approximately 1% of people globally suffer from celiac disease. However, a larger percentage, up to 13%, exhibit what's called gluten sensitivity. Less of an allergic emergency, but still a significant inflammatory reaction. And beyond avenin, oats contain lectins, natural toxin that can actually disrupt nutrient absorption. And lectins are an evolutionary defense mechanism that actually helps the oats plant survive. And they actually protect the plant against pests. So they do this by binding to carbohydrates, which can actually disrupt the metabolism of pests that eat them. So for humans, lectins are a double-edged sword. So in small amounts, they can actually have health benefits. However, in larger amounts, they can cause problems. And lectins bind to our intestinal lining, causing inflammation and reducing the body's ability to absorb essential nutrients like calcium, iron, and phosphorus. Now, over time, this can lead to nutrient deficiencies, of course, compromising bone health, energy metabolism, and increase in heart disease risk. And another significant concern is the presence of toxic chemicals in oats. A study by the Environmental Working Group in 2018 revealed that over 95% of oat samples contained herbicide traces. And these chemicals, far from being benign, are potential carcinogens and can actually disrupt gut health by killing good bacteria. And this disruption can actually lead to mood disorders like depression and anxiety, as well as affecting heart health. And taking it a step further, ultra-processed foods have been clearly established to increase the risk of heart disease. And potentially worst offenders are breakfast cereals full of oats, wheat, corn, and other freaking grain ingredients. We've long been told to eat breakfast cereals. It's breakfast of freaking champions after all. But there's potentially nothing worse to start the day with. So how did we get there? I have no freaking clue. See, it all began when the freaking US government began agriculture subsidized in order to stabilize the freaking industry. Corn and wheat were heavily subsidized, resulting in oversupply and the habitual daily consumption that causes so much damage today. Modern corn has been associated with many deficiencies, specifically in niacin, lysine, and tryptophan, with researchers linking these problems to dermatitis, diarrhea, tooth decay, iron deficiency, and stunt growth in children. Corn allergies are also increasing, possibly due to the changes in protein structure of modern corn. And these grains aren't a great idea to include in your freaking diet, but add to that the sugar and hidden salt that comes with many breakfast cereals, and it's a freaking recipe for disaster.